Welcome back to the channel, people. Today we are talking about the new subject, which is why some tradespeople are fully booked while others struggle. The truth about the trade, right? So yesterday I done a really good live, which you definitely should check out after you watch this one. It's called Why Qualified Tradespeople Can't Find Work Anymore. UK's Trades Insight. And it's just me talking. It's the reality. So today, I always want to help people who are subscribed, liked, and shared to my channel. Appreciate all of you lot for checking out that video yesterday. I enjoyed making it. It's a baking hot day today again, but we've got more content and more interesting points to talk about. I've got a few questions for you guys as well at the end. I'm having to wipe myself with a towel because I am baking hot. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. But before we start talking about the elephant in the room, let me just explain to you, I've been a tradesperson for 23 years, yeah? I enjoy what I do as a plumber, right? But there's certain things what I've realized within this industry, which has changed over time. You know, you've heard me say like 10, 12 years ago, you could do little jobs and still end up with a little bit of profit at the end of the day. Now you have to do so many jobs, and I always like to debunk it, not from a personal perspective, because I do not speak for everyone within the trade, but I speak to enough people. You know, we're currently hitting nearly coming up to 11,000 people on my Instagram account. So definitely go and follow me on Instagram. My link is in the description box below. So this video, I'm going to be talking about, you know, tradespeople who are just busy. They've got loads of jobs, and I know a few of them as well. So I'm quite diverse on this conversation. So we're going to get into it, people. Let's start with, why are some tradespeople always fully booked? You might think to yourself, oh, it's because they're a good tradesperson. It's because they have good contacts. It's because they've been a tradesperson for 20, 30 years. No, there's a lot more things going on behind the scenes to where someone would have to be there to explain it to you. So a lot of companies, yeah, pay for leads. They pay to be in certain places on the internet, right? So let's say if I'm on TikTok, I'm going to try and make as many videos under Mr. London Plumber. So every time someone types in London Plumber on TikTok, my face pops up. Now let's take that to the internet, where there are certain spaces and areas which are for rent, right? So people pay for leads in specific areas so they can get jobs. I inquired about this before, like, and it was something stupid. Like, I think to have Mr. London Plumber come up first as a lead. This is when Pimlico was operating at its highest capacity. They're not anymore. I think it was about £7,000 a week, £7,000 a week. But, and I say but, you don't know the type of leads what you can get from something like that. So you could get a lot of jobs come your way just for being in that advertisement space and paying for those leads. Another thing which makes a lot of people overbooked and stuff like that and get more traffic, because that's what it's called. You want that social traffic, right? It's the type of content people put out. People put out content, yeah? So therefore it leads people as general traffic towards your website. You can direct your traffic somewhere if you've got a website. And there are specific companies that find you leads, right? So I'm not talking about My Builder. I'm not talking about Rated People. I'm talking about these strategist companies which find you leads and you pay for that social media side of things, right? So it's something that a tradesperson would have to invest in to be able to see if there's any outcome. You know, I speak to one of my friends who has a company and he's paying like about 900 to like 1,500 a month. And he's in Manchester and he does a similar thing, gets leads and jobs and stuff like that through the internet, right? For me, as more of an old school type of tradesperson, I just know that it's a little bit of a gamble, and the proof we've had to be within the jobs what you get, and you got to be charging a minimum as well. So there's a lot of weighing factors. I'm not trying to say it doesn't work because my friend does it, and that's how he scaled his own business. You know, he's told me so many times they're busy, they got this amount of lead, they got that, they got this, they got that. So I can see it working. But in an area which is populated with a lot more people, so we're trying to compare Manchester as a city to London as a city, and London has got a density of more people. Yeah, there's more people in London than Manchester. And I would say, by record, you could see a plumber or any tradesperson could charge a lot more as a premium in London than they do in Manchester. So that's why the price, what I'm giving, like £7,000 or whatever it was, super inflated compared to a price up in Manchester for the same type of thing to get you leads, to push the next job towards you, or for you to be the person to be recommended on the Google list, right? Why is qualifications alone not enough to guarantee work? So when you're qualified, yeah, it's not just enough to, that's not going to get you work. People want to see, and what is making those people busy is they just want to see a catalog of your work, right? So a lot of these companies who are busy, yeah, they will pay for professional photos. You know, my partner, she works for quite a popular estate agent, right? And they pay photographers to take quality photos of the properties, and it's not just someone who's not trained in that type of field. That's what they do, right? And if I've got a website, I want the cleanest photos possible, the best high quality photos of my work, possibly videos, and something what showcases my skill off. It's not just enough for me to tell them I'm a plumber, book me. I've been qualified X amount of years, book me. That ain't gonna work. Back in the day, when you would see like heating and plumbing company, 40 years, 30 years, you'd say, wow, that's great. But today, people want to see like what you got. Like, what are you offering to them? Like, how is your service any different to anybody else? Because I could get this other person to do it, right? So another thing I want to talk about, which is common skills within the trade, right? So I spoke about communicating with customers and why that is so important. All of these companies, which are quite busy, they have a good line of communication. You know, I think there's many tradespeople who could have took their niece, their sister on, just to answer the phone, just to get the calls done, replying to people properly. And most of these companies that have a fully booked schedule, they've got some type of booking agency or people that deal with the bookings and requests. The person who is not busy hasn't really got that because they're not busy. They don't think they need someone to do that. But that whole level of coming across professional, it sets you apart from everybody else. And, you know, having that streamline of yourself, being able to be booked online, you're presentable, your customer service skills, they definitely do matter. And a lot of these people who are busy, they've made sure they've built up good customer relationships with their customers, yeah? And one thing I do want to say is most of those companies definitely get word of mouth. They get, oh, okay, I used this company, it was really good, blah, 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 blah. Someone's contact. That company doesn't really need to sell themselves when their last customer had great things to say about them. They left a review on Google. They made sure they told their friends and showed them and said, hey, if you ever need a kitchen, I've got this carpenter. If you ever need an electrician to do something, I've got this electrician who I used previously. He was very professional. He's got a website. They've got a booking system. The customer service is really good. The friend's already done all of the hard work for you to be able to promote yourself. Another thing, how these other companies remain busy, yeah? Customers are long-term relationship. Customers tend to be long-term relationships. So a lot of these places which are busy and people have had this experience of being able to contact a professional tradesperson, they're fully booked, but they was able to accommodate for this other person. They know they're qualified. They know that the qualifications doesn't guarantee them the work. They're respectful when they turn up for the job. Their customer service knows, their customer service, when they see people, it matters. It makes people call them back. I've worked for a few companies, yeah, which were like, basically they do odd jobs around Notting Hill, right? Very affluent area, right? And I'm very polite when I go to people's houses. Hi, my name's Mr. London Plumber. I'm here to fit your sink, fit these taps. I've always known that how you present yourself to customers and people, yeah, determines on how they're going to treat you. And you obviously being respectful by being in their space, that's the first thing. It goes such a long way to where I used to have people calling back to the office saying, that Mr. London Plumber guy you said, he was really good. Can we have him again? Specifically asking for me as an engineer. So I know when you replicate that and put that on a bigger scale, politeness at the door, asking people, do you want me to put my shoe protectors on? That whole building a level of respect for your customer builds a relationship long term. Social media and online reviews, they go such a big way. Such a big way. You don't understand. A lot of the time, people are going to search you on social media before they give you a call. When you've got a clean social media page, professional style pictures, quality work, standing by your values of your company, people are sold. They're sold. They'll buy straight into you just because you have those things. And what this always brings, like for companies who are fully busy, it always brings the younger generation wanting to get into the industry. I've seen so many young people go for specific companies like that have got a good model to them. So I'm going to talk about someone that had a good model. They used to have a good model. I don't think they have the good model now, but we're going to go with someone like Pimlico Plumbers. There are a few people who have learnt the basics of business by working for Pimlico Plumbers, replicating what they do. I know a guy who used to be an apprentice there now. He's got his own company now. I think he's got like 10 plumbers that work for him. By paper, he should be a millionaire because I showed you how you could do it with 5 people. That's a video that's on my page already. So he should be a millionaire, right? Getting the business model from people who are hands-on, learning the customer service, learning qualifications is not just going to get you a guaranteed job or going to get you jobs as a tradesperson, no matter what trade you are. If you're a plumber, electrician, carpenter, it's not guaranteed, but it's a tick on the box what's necessary for when you're becoming this person who is fully booked, overly booked all the time. And those people have got these things. So I'm making sure that you understand that these things are a requirement, right? The respect level for customers. Why customers? All of these companies understand why customers' trust matter so much, right? So any big company understands a customer who trusts them to do work in their house, to trust them to get the project done properly. They're the real deal. That's what the customer's looking at them saying. These people are the real deal. Like, I've seen the reviews online. I've seen their social media pages. I've heard from other customers who they've had before. Previously, they speak highly of them. The communication skills are in the trade. So they communicate by the jobs, what they do, sending out signals. This person had 5 plumbers who came to their house before, couldn't fix the leak. Mr. London Plumber turned up, done the job, and was out within an hour. That and a review online are the 2 biggest things that I would need as a plumber to be able to expand my business and get more business within this industry. And like I said earlier on in the video, yeah, getting the leads through these online platforms are the reason why these companies are so busy. You that are not clocking the game, but you don't understand that there's so many construction trades, tradesmen and tradeswomen who are out there doing social media content, and it's funneling traffic towards them, right? My friend told me about something today. Now people can direct message you on YouTube. So we're cutting out the middlemen and we're going to get straight to customers being able to get straight to their favorite tradesperson or people or company. So not only are the people going to watch the content, which might be monetized, which they're going to make something from, they're going to get a good understanding how that person works, how that company is operating, and how they're dealing with their customers. Because let's say they've made a vlog about, building an extension on a property. If they agree with the customer to be able to film it and the customer doesn't mind being on camera, right? That whole interaction between the tradesperson, the client, or the customer is priceless to see on camera, because people think to themselves, if I was to spend that type of money, this is the type of tradesperson I would want for myself to come into my house, to do the job for me to pay and to be happy with the outcome. That's what they want. And if they know that you're the person on that video, it just all made sense. And there are so many companies who are leveraging up with this type of stimulus pack It's like a Drake stimulus pack, right? So, you know, if you used to get a feature by Drake on a record, you know that this record's blowing up. Iceman business. If you know, you know. If you don't know, get yourself some ice. Iceman business. So I do think a lot of these things contribute to people being fully booked. Where, on the other hand, which I spoke about yesterday, which was tradespeople who are struggling, who are qualified, but just can't seem to get a job, can't seem to find something stable. I feel that a lot of these companies who are fully busy and fully booked, they've built this ecosystem for the next 5 to 6 months of jobs, which they book in stages, right? Book them in stages of blocks. And I've shown people there are many programs online. I use one which is called Sum Up. So, no, Set More. Sorry, that's what it's called. I use something called Set More. And it's a link in my YouTube page. No, it's not my YouTube page. It's on my Instagram page. It's above my Instagram page. And you can book me for a specific time for a specific service. And I'm able to do that for the whole year. So if I was constantly making videos on installing, videos on what type of maintenance or repairs or installations, what I've been doing, talking people through it, letting them see how I deal with customers, guaranteeing my work, being professional at all points of the day, communicating properly, realizing that one of my communication skills is my trade. I know this will attract way more work towards me. Plus doing the Google search or making sure that my business pops up when it comes to leads in Hatton Gardens. That's what would work. And within time, start to get leads. The phone will start to ring. You know, me personally, I don't really, I don't hand out my number. I mean, it's on my Instagram for people to get in contact with me for my business. And other than that, I mean, over the 10 years, I've probably made 6 or 7 flyers online and nothing else. You know, if I was to make flyers every single week, promoting my business, talking about it, booking people in, guaranteeing the work to be done, communicating with my customers properly, these are the things which will build me to the point of being busy all the time. I like to speak about these things because I've been in situations where I've had work back to back to back to back to back to back, to where I've had to cancel sometimes, to where I've even had to do things like, I got like a drainage job coming up, yeah? I do drainage, but just send it to one of my mates. Because I'm building something with him, drainage is something what he specializes in. I can do it. He specializes in it. Let's always get it to the best quality, because the way how the job came to me, it comes through me. Do you get it? So at some point, if I want to capitalize on that, or there's 2 drainage jobs, I'll send one to my friend and I'll do another one. I'll do the other one. Right. I have a important question to you guys, and I want you to answer this because you've done very well answering the last questions which I've done on my live. If you haven't checked out that video, you should after you finish watching this one. Do you think Customers choose a tradesperson based on their skill, trust, price, or reputation. It's a loaded question because if you was to ask a tradesperson that, I think they would say price and trust, because reputation does definitely matter within this industry. But I'm not someone who would ever call someone around their house to do something. Do you get it? Like, over my years, yeah, of me being a plumber, which has been 23 years, yeah, I've been able to change locks. I've been able to change radiators, central heating systems. I made a 12-foot by 3-meter shed for my dad with him in the garden, where my parents were going to pay someone to do it. You know, I've done gardening at some point. We cleared someone's garden one time. It was in the summertime. It's a couple of years ago, though. That was like 60 or 70 bin bags worth of, you know, trees and bits and stuff like that. That was a crazy job. Fixed their fence, done the guttering and stuff like that. It was an interesting job, just nice just to be outside for once. I would never do it on a day like this. Today is, the temperature is crazy today, but I'm not complaining. I love the heat. Temperature is 33. It's hot. It's very hot. I like it. But yesterday's video, why qualified tradespeople can't find any more work in the UK? It's been a really good watch. I mean, I've had 1,000 people watch that video. A lot of you guys are commenting. I put a few different questions in there for you. They're kind of loaded questions, so definitely go and check that out. I want people to comment back to this video because this was combating like what I said yesterday, which is there are some people who are on both sides of the fence, but I feel when you're trying to get this fully booked company as a tradesperson, yeah, you have to pay into this ecosystem of people finding you leads online through the internet. That could be anything from like 1,500 to 5 or 6 grand a month. Yeah. If you don't understand the internet, this is how it's just working. They also have companies who are set up to run social media posts for tradespeople. There are many companies that have that. You think they're doing the social media themselves. They're not. They pay someone else in to do it. Who used to do that quite a lot? Artisan does it, is a good idea. Ashfield, he does it, is a good idea. He don't edit the videos. He don't do any of that shit. He's not a content creator in any type of way. So, like, that in a nutshell is definitely something what's like 2-3 grand a month. So imagine you're doing the leads, the social media campaign thing as well, and you've got someone to answer the phone to do the replying to your next customers. You're now talking about 6 grand. What you're paying at 6 to 8 grand. You've got this customer service, what you're trying to build up, whether it's a rapport between your new customer or existing customers and keeping them happy. So that takes a whole manager who can understand relationships and making relationships long-term between you and your customers. You've got the person, obviously, who's doing the social media and online reviews, making sure that there's no negative ones there, keeping it all positive. And again, you've got a lot of these companies who are taking on the younger part of the trade and showing them, you know, work for me as a company. It's this, it's that, it's that. But there's a lot of working parts, moving parts, what go behind the scenes, what nobody tends to talk about, innit? So I just want to give you that question time again. The question is, this is the bonus question. Just comment bonus question in the comment section today so I can see you lot's response. Do you think customers choose a tradesperson based on skill, trust, money, or reputation? I want to know what you guys think, because I tried to answer it just now and it didn't really make much sense, because I have to be honest with myself, is I ain't paying for a tradesperson to come around to my house to change the locks. I ain't paying for them to do unblocking my sink. I can do it myself. I ain't paying for a tradesperson to come around and be a handyman and put up a shed in my garden, because I have the tools which I can do myself. So I'm not the person to ask about that. And I have a best friend who's an electrician as well. So testing and inspecting, putting in a new fuse board, putting in anything, plugs, sockets, lights. Again, I can ask my friend to do it. So it's not something that I would, or I can say to him, do you mind giving me a hand? So it's not going to be the same. I ain't going to be the same as an average customer or any other tradespeople as well. So please do let me know. Make sure you like this post, because it's been a bit difficult to get you guys to like the post, but some of you lot have been, which I appreciate. Let's just keep doing that, supporting the channel. We are nearly at 5,000 subscribers, people. Keep subscribing, liking, sharing, and I'm going to keep posting, doing these lives, getting into these interesting topics for you guys so you can have more of an insight into what makes a busy trades company. Because I spoke about yesterday why some tradespeople are struggling while still being qualified. So today was kind of like an uplift for most of you lot who thought, oh, you know, everybody's going through the same thing. Oh my God, I don't know how we're going to deal with it. This is how some of these other companies are dealing with it. I wanted to give you a good insight into the stuff what they ain't going to tell you. But if you subscribe, like, share, I will tell you on my platform. So make sure you like this post before you leave. Have a great day. Enjoy the sun. It's baking hot. And I'll catch you tomorrow.